Hey there, Shrine Runners! Hello, and welcome to the Fox Shrine. I'm Araxis, your host, and tonight we're going to be playing some more Limbus Company. Hey there, Ada. Hey, Meta. Welcome. Hope you're all doing alright. I'm doing pretty good. Hey there, Xichun. Yeah, there's, indeed there is a new Intervallo tonight. So that's what we will be playing. We will definitely make sure that Xichun will be ready for the URA finale so that she'll be able to sing Umapyoi as the center. I'm pretty sure that's what the Intervallo is about. But yeah, hope everyone's doing alright. Recently just finished dinner, feeling a little bit full, admittedly, but very much looking forward to this Intervallo because Xichun's great. I like Xichun, and the theme they've sort of got going for this one sounds quite interesting. So let's get going then, shall we? All right. So first things first, we do have a few new things that we can extract over here. We have Uma Musume Yi-sung, for example. So might as well try and go for that, right? If we want to Umapyoi correctly, so we'll just do a little bit. We won't sort of like go hardcore like we were trying with Don, with Walpurgis. But yeah, let's do a little bit, shall we? Because there's also a Xichun announcer in here, which I would quite like to have, to be honest. Nothing there. Try again. See if we get anything out of you this time. Maybe? One time? Nope. I'll try again. This time, maybe? Nope. Alright. Well, there's something at least. Let's see what we get.
그건
Yes.
뭐야?
아가씨께서 수업을 듣고 대련하는 과정을 기록으로 남기는 중입니다.
뭐? 그런 걸 왜 남기는 건데?
가주가 되신 만큼 이런 기록은 가능한 많이 남기는 편이 좋다고 생각합니다.
Awesome. No more reason to roll, I think. I can just grab Uma Musume Yi-sung later on next week with just some shards. We might as well. We got a free one for the anniversary, like the 3.5 anniversary or something. So we'll do that too, shall we? See if we get anything of note. Got 2 out of that.
너도 그놈을 잡으러 온 건가? 아니면 그저 이 몰락을 구경하려고 온 건가?
Alright. This will be good for when I eventually do Wuthering Heights on stream, because like my intention with that is to basically have like a full like Wuthering Heights themed team going for that. I'm not sure who I'll be going with specifically, but this will be a good option. What was the other one we got extra shards for? More shards for Faust. Fair enough. Yeah, that looks good to me. So let's swap out one of our announcers. Let's swap out Jilu. You know what? Let's also swap out Sancho. Because I haven't had Herbert on before, so I want to try see what Herbert's like.
그건
이런
So I'll
것도 필요해?
put you
너희 진짜
in
재밌게 사는구나.
as well. There we go. I don't have a specific team for the rewards for this, necessarily. Sadly, I don't have a Hierarch family candidate, Ishmael, which would be appropriate, admittedly. But I suppose I'll at least get something for having a Sinclair involved, right? Doesn't matter which one, does it? Yeah. Alright. Hey, Sophie, how you going? Here I am. Who knows, I might shard one of those later or something. But, yeah, let's... I do like this, the CGs here. It's impossible to get plus 0%. Right, yeah. Sinclair will give us 20% at the very least. Alright. Well, family hierarch time. And this will probably be... I think this is unvoiced, like all the Intervallos are at first. They'll have a voice later on, I'll replay it. I'll consider replaying it when it gets a voice. But we'll just have to deal with my silly voices. The hall was chill with a tense air. I don't think Sinclair needs to be actually deployed, especially considering it's all chain battles now. Like, as long as you've got... Like, it's just flat 20% regardless. But yeah, it's time for Xichun's training arc. And those present all sat in complete silence. Then there was Jia Yuanchun, with her lips slightly curled into a mirthless sneer. At the center of it all sat Jia Xichun, unsure of what to say next. Well, everyone. Jia Yuanchun, seated next to the Hierarch's seat upon which Xichun sat, smoothly takes control of the situation and begins the assembly. Honored heads of houses, lords of each family, their proxies, members, and... She nods slightly, acknowledging our awkward presence. And little Xichun's guests, who stay here at our H Corp, seems to be extending without a foreseeable end. Isn't she technically from Q Corp? What's up with her acting like she's any less of an outsider than we are? Yeah, and did everyone catch that? Our H Corp? Regardless of everything else, the fact that she hijacked the meeting from the get-go is ridiculous, especially with Jia Xichun, the family hierarch herself, presiding over this official assembly. Clearly, she is using the pretense of assisting the hierarch to assert her own dominance over these proceedings. Yeah, the classic, until Xichun is prepared to rule, I will serve as the regent of the house, indefinitely, and, don't get any funny ideas. As we are all aware, venerable former Jiamu has always discussed with and confided in me about the matters of the greatest import, the momentousness of which steered the very course of H Corp's prospects. I really like the subtle way that they've gradually softened Otis a little bit over the course of things. Obviously, her Intervallo, her counter is not going to be until... She's going to be the second last one, based on the order that they presented at the start of the game. But that doesn't mean she's free from character development. They've sort of been hinting at that across everything, which is nice. My friends, this is just a temporary arrangement with permanent characteristics. I like that one. I have to use that in the future. Even after I departed the family for Q Corp, the venerable former Jiamu has always written missives to confer such matters with me. Something about it smelled suspicious. We'd already missed the window to challenge her to present us with proof without breaking decorum. Yeah, she's setting herself up from the get-go as being the former Hierarch's confidant, and worming her way into power. Thus, as it naturally follows that I would be the inheritor of the venerable Jiamu's will, I shall be presiding over this regular assembly, which we convene now to discuss and determine the future of H Corp. What a grandiose and self-important introduction. Seemed clear to me that she considered herself to be the main character of this scene or something. Your grace certainly befits your station, Lady Yuanchun. Oh, we are all impressed by your utmost dedication to the citizenry of Hongyuan, despite your already saturated schedule. We can hardly thank you enough for your magnanimity. Magnanimity, Lady Yuanchun. This is one of the guys that we had defeated in the Hierarch competition. My parents, a true shame that they couldn't be here, have always sung praises of your expertise, Lady Yuanchun. Responses from the participants are just as protracted, only obsequious instead of arrogant. As heads of some of those houses were under investigation for consorting with the forces foreign to Hongyuan, their vacuum was filled by their children's generation, many of whom we had the pleasure of meeting during the family Hierarch War. Very well. Then shall we welcome Jia Xichun, the next person to sit upon the seat of Hongyuan's family Hierarch? Greetings. I am... Now, let us begin. For many years, all those who have gathered here have toiled day and night for the eternal prosperity and growth of H Corp. Jia Xichun's expression immediately sours as Yuanchun unceremoniously cuts off her self-introduction, immediately setting the scene for who is in charge. First on the agenda for this assembly are urgent discussions and passage of new major policy items that have been tabled for far too long. Distributive contribution rights auctioning policy, quarterly amnesty policy. Hold on, Big Sister Yuanchun. Passing the distributive contribution rights auctioning policy would allow the open auction for any remaining rooms the day before reconstruction days, and the quarterly amnesty wouldn't do anything but give unfair advantage to certain families and high net worth individuals by guaranteeing them large real estate assignments regardless of their performance in the previous quarter. So Xichun's been reading up on policy, I see. Doesn't quite have presence, giving her stumbles there, but props to you for being familiar with all of these without like off the top of your head, and being against these as well. Like, these sound pretty shit. Jia Xichun stutters a little, flustered, before continuing. My point is, These policies are going to rattle H-Corp's economy the moment they go into effect. Besides, these policies were pretty much drawn to favor lining the pockets of a select few families and high-ranking officials of H-Corp. If I may, venerable Hierarch, lining the pockets? Oh, that is quite an odd turn of phrase to refer to the bare minimum of respect the society may repay to its highest contributing members, don't you think? Oh, before we continue, Xichun, I'm not entirely certain if you are aware, but ever since the ascension of the new family Hierarch, the perceived value of Hong Yuan has been racing to the, for lack of a better word, rock bottom. Clearly, this demonstrates Hong Yuan's concern and its lack of faith in the newly appointed family Hierarch. Therefore, it naturally follows that our most urgent task at hand is to put a stop to this value and reputation freefall and restore prosperity and greatness to Hong Yuan once again. Yeah, okay, and that's the family Hierarch's job, right? Why are you... If you had perused H-Corp's Articles of Association, you would have known that, should H-Corp be deemed to be in a state of crisis, the four great houses and the board of directors' voice may also carry de facto power in the assembly. And the board of directors, that's us, has determined that we are now in a state of crisis. State of crisis? What crisis? Everything that led to my ascension to the family Hierarch was legitimate, down to the final approval. Oh, these unseemly rumors and slander are tanking our value, which we have built up assiduously through years and years of toil. So what is this if not a state of crisis? And who wouldn't doubt the new family Hierarch's qualities when this decline has coincided precisely with her ascension? Jia Yuanchun was somehow turning the room against Xichun without presenting a single shred of evidence, portraying her as some burdensome Hierarch who was single-handedly tanking H-Corp's value. No one in the assembly, not a single representative from any families present, stepped up to point out how Jia Xichun's swift actions were what finally repelled the outside forces that have marched right up to Hong Yuan's front yard. See, this is corruption at work right here. You get someone here who's trying to rein in corruption within the upper ranks and nobility, but they don't want to sort of give up their gigantic mansions, their dividends from stock and shit like that. Or how she deftly maneuvered her forces to quell the embers of war by quickly taking control of the chaos within Daguanyuan. She hadn't shown any glaring signs of incompetence since her ascension, despite her relative inexperience. But... everyone in Hong Yuan's board of directors, the heads of each family, averted their eyes as though all of that had somehow, inconceivably, slipped their minds. So, you take yourself to be a qualified individual for that responsibility, Xichun? Very well. Then proceed. We're all waiting for you to begin your briefing before the assembly regarding the last 30 years' quarterly net revenue records for Hong Yuan's singularity-related businesses, your calculations on next year's fiscal debt forecasts, and the exact recipe and variation numbers for the boluses that have been registered in the last 5 years. That's, the venerable Hierarch has not received that data prior to the meeting. You must all be aware of the chaos that followed the ascension. We are still indexing all available materials to... Isn't that funny? Not once in the history of Hong Yuan has the family hierarch ever failed to provide immediate and detailed answers regarding Hong Yuan's historical statistics. Alright, well that's a low blow right there, considering each family hierarch has been, had a brainworm in their heads, conveying the collective consciousness of the Jia family, and informing them of basically everything, and making sure that everything continues along the status quo. Jia Yuanchun must have known all along, too. She must have known how the previous family hierarchs were all directly supplied with an immense repository of information through the Jiahuang worm, or something of the equivalent. And she's using it to target Xichun's weakness, knowingly asking questions she, the first family hierarch without the anima worm, couldn't possibly answer. The responsibilities tied to the venerable seat of the hierarch, Jiamu, are matched only by the great power bestowed upon it. Thus, how are we to leave the matters of the wing to someone who is so evidently unprepared for the task? Given the present circumstances, our hands may be forced to call to vote the motion of no confidence. Oh geez, we're getting Jia Yuanchun is basically pulling a Princess Amidala right here. Also, hey Kuro, how you going? The motion of no confidence? A motion of no confidence, when passed by the high-ranking political officials, can result in the removal of the chief executive from office. So, they're going after Xichun's power. I mean, it's a clever play, given that she's aware of how the hierarch ascends. She's... and realize that Xichun is not in possession of the anima worm. She's decided, well, hey, I can make my own play here. Ooh, hope you have fun at your party, Kuro. All the best. This is the picture Jia Yuanchun wanted to paint. Impotent family hierarch stammering and stumbling through her first meeting, with a total and near unanimous lack of support from the H Corp board of directors. Or whatever jargon they're on about. Seems to me they've got not an ounce of respect for the lass or us. Or never trust whatsoever obsessed with numbers and optimizations. They'll be the first ones to kick you out the moment they no longer see you as useful. You're not the only one who's pissed off, so can you please stop shaking your leg for a second? Don't need to make our frustrations any more obvious, you know. My ass would have left the chair long ago if it weren't for this class. Heathcliff is pretty awesome. I like Heathcliff. When I eventually, next time I'm sort of away from my desktop and stuck on my laptop, we'll be going into the next canto that I haven't streamed, which will actually be Heathcliff's canto, and that one's really good as well. Okay, it is. It's not a Yuri canto like Ishmael's one was, but it's awesome. Okay, I fucking love it. And yet Heathcliff has always been awesome. In H Corp, should the board of directors unanimously vote in favor of the motion, certain parts of the family hierarch's powers will be removed. It is entirely possible that she will become a hierarch in name only. So they're threatening to fire her unless she falls in line. a needlessly convoluted way to... The Assembly will now consider the motion of no confidence. Are there any objections to bringing the motion of no confidence against family hierarch Xichun to the floor? Hold on! The vote of no confidence isn't an item that you can invoke so lightly! The Shi family has no objections. Let's say the Wang family has no objections either. Shui family too. The arrest of the previous family heads seems to have changed precisely nothing. Those in power wore more youthful faces, but their tongues still carry the same old resistance to change. The new family heads were just as uncooperative as ever, and everyone seemed to be solely interested in staying in Jia Yuanchun's good graces. New faces, same old. Here comes a new boss, same as the old. And needless to say, Heathcliff wasn't the only sinner fuming with rage. It's far too vexing to simply watch and do not. Right? I knew you wouldn't let this slide, Don Quixote. Walking all over Xichun like she's not even here. Forsooth, we cannot let such injustice transpire unabated. Hey, seems like we're both on the same page. Sit. Not going to hesitate to make myself heard again. This time, I want to be courageous. With your help, Don Quixote. Come on, let's do this together. Okay? Very well! I am in agreement! Yeah, then let's go on three, at the same time. If there are no objections, 1, 2, the Assembly will put this resolution to vote in a month, and 3. Yeah, objection! Oh, what the hell? Oi, you go mental? Sinclair stood tall at the center of the entire room's undivided astonishment. Alone. Don Quixote, still firmly in her seat, gazed upon Sinclair's proud stand and rubbed her nose. Young Sinclair, thou hast evolved indeed. What an unmitigated pursuer of justice thou hast become, with such unrelenting fervor and utter disregard for decorum. Certainly, mine efforts have finally borne fruit. La Crichula! I love Don. Especially now that Don Quixote, is, she's herself again. I suppose I should say. She's not a one-dimensional, fixer fangirl. What? What? Did Don Quixote or Heathcliff suddenly rub off on you or something? No, wait, no! What happened there, Don Quixote? We were going to... What happened to objecting together? Oh? I had taken Dire's suggestion to mean that we must voice our dissatisfaction through the official channels, borrowing the titles of the illustrious Red Gaze and the Department of LCC. Disputes and successions of power on such a high level of government are hardly ever resolved with rash grandstanding. Wouldst thou not agree? Why are you normal all of a sudden? Lad, what has happened? What happened to the clammy meek boy? Well, that's... I guess I just assumed that this is how Limbus Company rolls now. There seems to have been an unexpected outburst from Xichun's guests. Withdraw your objection, and we will consider this a momentary loss of control and not enter it as an official statement. It was... Sinclair's eyes were shaking like someone with his life on the line. No, Sinclair! Don't take it back! You were right to stand up. Like, hold on to that courage within you. If not, I take it that you have full confidence in her abilities. So please, I encourage you to elaborate. When and how will Xichun demonstrate her aptitude for the responsibilities of the family hierarch? His voice continues to shrivel into a corner. He can't. And how could anyone? Could anyone, when we all had a very clear view of her path to ascension? During the family hierarch evaluation, Jia Baoyu donated the coins he received from Xichun to you. Essentially, you pity-partied your way to victory. Pity-partied? And for your ascension, Xichun and those outsiders from an upstart company had to almost literally carry you to the seat. That just shows that she's capable of assembling a loyal cohort of followers willing to assist and aid her. Like, that is 100% leadership material. Has there ever been a single victory attained by your own hands in that entire process? But have we not all been witnesses to the qualities she exhibited during the family hierarch evaluation and her own ascension? You must have no shame, sticking your forked tongue in the audience of both heaven and earth like an unwitting buffoon. So who is this? Is this Confucius or one of Confucius's minions, perhaps? That's when quiet, even footsteps broke through Jia Yuanchun's merciless dismantling of Jia Xichun. Aha, here we go! Zhigong! Of the Pinky! Zhigong's great, I like her. Yet, I see the point. The hierarch, with her grace, needs only demonstrate her already established qualifications before all. This is no place for an outsider to speak. But proceed. Just how will she prove herself before us? What an odd statement, coming from a fellow outsider who's been chattering for minutes on end. Forgive me. I could only presume from your verbosity that the right to speak in this forum was open to all outsiders. Zhigong. You have said it yourself, no? That the vote of no confidence resolution will proceed in a month. That seems to give the venerable hierarch a month to regain the trust of each family. What? It is rather clear to me that there are many who find their own defeat of the family hierarch or difficult to accept. Such a doubt is easily resolved. A match between clans should lay out the results quite obviously. Very well. A fair challenge between clans, which would preclude the participation of the family hierarch's Heisho packs and the Jialan guards. Oh, you would remove her Hao and Ju before the game even begins? Cannon and Chariot. I think like those are pieces in Shogi or a similar game. I know from Zhigong's announcer statements that she often makes reference to different pieces in board games. Why not make this test a series of sparring matches in both academia and martial arts, if such is the case? What audacity! You truly have that much faith in Xichun's abilities? You must know the consequences of failing these matches, no? It would be a unanimous, one-sided end to the vote of no confidence. And naturally, any and all rights appertaining to the family hierarch shall be transferred to the board of directors. That is fine by us. You're free to choose any champion whom you see fit. Fortunately, your underlings don't seem to share your inflated confidence. In the midst of the confused, flabbergasted silence from the other sinners, a clear, carefree, yet defiant voice rings out. Hong Lu's retort. That's not true at all, big sister Yuanjun. Chinese chess. Zhengqi. Okay, cool. Thank you for the clarification. Like, I know that shogi is a Japanese thing, and I figured that China's probably got its own variation of things, but like that was the closest thing I could sort of think of. We actually have just as much confidence in Xichun as she does. His wide eyes stared directly and unblinkingly into Jia Yuanchun's. It occurred to me that this might be his way of expressing anger. Cute child. Dare he stare me down like that? Then you are welcome to try. 1 month. You have but 1 month to prove before all an audience that she is indeed fit to be the family hierarch. Should you fail, the vote may as well be a mere formality. In other words, should she successfully prove herself, none of you shall again rightly challenge the independent rights and powers bestowed upon the family hierarch. Consequences of such recalcitrance be no different from those that the traitors are facing. Wouldn't you agree? Well then, we will excuse ourselves now. Wait, I'm... Zhigong turns around towards us with that same mysterious smile and slowly directs us outside the assembly hall. We may call them sparring matches, but you must know that each and every one of them is a test to prove your claim to the seat of the family hierarch. A month is a time far too brief for drastic improvement, regardless of for whom it may be. Learning from a proper master for 10 months straight might teach you a few things, but who knows how long the search for one such master might take? Not to mention the official channels through which you must bring them past Guanyuan's walls, which may take up to 2 months. Why not relent now, and relinquish but a part of your powers as the family hierarch to the board of directors? It seems that this fellow outsider's mental faculties are impressively lacking. Confucius? Confucius, could we also learn from you? That'd be pretty awesome. My lord has spoken in the past that when in the presence of 3 people, at least one of them is bound to be a teacher of mine. And here they are, aren't they? Jia Xichun's masters, each carrying something new to teach her. All 13 of them. Zhigong gestured confidently towards the flabbergasted sinners, and the assembly came to an end. No, this is fine. This is fine, Sion, don't worry. Alright. Well, 12 teachers over here then. proceed with this, shall we? Honestly, we've got Otis over here, and she could probably basically do a Sergeant Saga Resursuke and whip Xichun into shape, right? We were planning to train Xichun anyway, but it seems that we are now under an unexpected deadline. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, when you said the LCB was going to help me out, did you guys mean that you were going to publicly humiliate the crap out of me at the assembly? Of course not, Xichun. Big sister Yuan Chun's an old snake. You've just given her 30 days to set the perfect stage for my downfall. To prove to the world once and for all that I'm not qualified at all to be the family hierarch. But Xichun, weren't you always so good at humbling anyone who dared underestimate you? Not so much anymore. Back then, like an idiot, I thought I just had to hold on with everything I had. I thought that's all I ever had to do. But now, things are different. It's true that I'm vastly underqualified to be the family hierarch, and it's right. Pretty much lucked into this position. Xichun, don't tell me that woman's bullshit actually got to you. Well, she wasn't completely wrong, right? I'm just some kid who happened to be just good enough to survive some traps and ambushes. Afraid that the responsibility of a family hierarch might be too much. Her self-confidence has significantly decreased compared to the observation from our previous interaction. The heck, Xichun? I don't remember you being this kind of character. What happened to the girl who looked down on us the moment that we met? You even had the audacity to pretend to not know who we were, didn't you? That confidence go, girl! That actually got under her skin back then. So, Xichun, what do you want to do? You sure you're okay with this? Are you okay with letting this happen? If I let it happen, Big Sister Yuan Chun's going to continue expanding her influence here. Hey, Tiberius! How you going? I'm sure she and the board of directors have been cozying up to each other for a long time. Is the implication that her testaments on her influence were true? Yeah, it's true. Before she left for Q Corp, Big Sister Yuan Chun used to always accompany Jia Mu to these assemblies. We just let them hold the vote of no confidence. They're going to unanimously vote against me and slowly reduce the family hierarch's scope of power. And who knows, they might even call for a re-evaluation, however unlikely that sounds. Alright. Hope you're enjoying yourself, Tiberius. Besides, Big Sister Yuan Chun, I think her definition of Hong Yuan's prosperity might be different from mine. Oh, it is 100% different from yours. What she's looking for isn't H Corp's prosperity. It's Da Guan Yuan's. And I know that this has something to do with its ties to Q Corp, which I bet has already been going on for a while, just under my radar. I'm sure they've already had plenty of talks behind my back. She doesn't necessarily think exactly like Grandma. I think she's more selfish than Grandma is. Like, I see her as, like, being like very much like an oligarchy, or like I know that like Grandma was absolutely the same way, but like subtle differences. Like this is the sort of thing that you'd see in something like modern day Russia, or what Trump's trying to sort of like do with the United States at the moment. Doling out favors for sycophants and incompetence in return for power, corruption, shit like that. Basically, the standard dictatorship that you see in countries, which is not the kind of vision you have for Hong Yuan's future, right? And that's why you spoke up against her? My vision for Hong Yuan is I want to change H Corp to be the kind of place where people can live without fear. I just never imagined I'd have to prove myself like this in only 30 days. Even then, your vision hasn't changed, right? It hasn't. Great! Great! So, it's decided then, huh? We just need Fao to deliver the bad news to Saud. So, to summarize, the responsibility of training Xichun to win these matches, I mean, these amorphous tests, upon which hinges the family hierarch's fate, and almost every facet of which is entirely under Jia Yuanchun's control, by the way, and is probably a trap, within the next 30 days is ours. And we have to explain that to Saud. Wow! Sounds like a lot of work when you put it like that. Post-mortem reports have become quite urgent. Sometime later. Prithee, thou must impress upon the illustrious Red Gaze that wasn't mine idea this time. Sinclair stared blankly at Don Quixote as she made her desperate plea towards Saud. Yes, and I understand that as well, for the 8th time. As always, Saud was wearing the same refreshingly incomprehensible smile. The kind of smile that makes people increasingly anxious the longer it lasts. Well, that gives us about 30 days, during which those sparring matches, tests, whatever, will be happening as well. Great. Then, let's give it our best. Sinclair mutters in a near whisper, clearly feeling responsible for what happened. Yes, I understand. I never should have stepped out of line like that, but something just... Well, Don Quixote doesn't want to face a consultation again, right? She's had to face... she and Heathcliff have been on the receiving ends of those more than everyone else, after all. And Don Quixote's got a brain now, so she's able to manipulate Sinclair to do what she wants now, as well as also give Sinclair a boost of confidence so that he can be heroic himself. So, like, all around good things for people. And she doesn't get to go to a consultation either. See, everyone wins. Yeah. So, let's give it our best. I totally agree. Well, you messed everything up again, and... What? What? Limbus Company was always going to remain here and assist Miss Jia Xichun acclimate herself to the responsibilities of the family hierarch. It was always a part of our plan. Yeah, we had an idea of this beforehand because Limbus Company would benefit greatly from being in the good graces of the head of one of the wings, and having Xichun's power base get decimated would ruin all of the work that they put in. Well, I sure am glad that I took Faust's advice about how meticulous planning is completely pointless when it comes to LCB's missions. I never would have had to submit 9 separate disciplinary incident reports back during the J-Corp incident had I known. J-Corp incident. I believe I should be able to explain this further. Prior to his departure, my lord was concerned that such a thing would come to pass. Alright, so Kong's gone for now, unfortunately. But that's alright. We've got Jigong with us. Oh, it's not an unspecified incident, Sophie. You wouldn't have seen it. It is actually available on my YouTube channel if you wanted to go there. But Canto 2 is what covers the J-Corp incident. If you ever feel like checking that out. Do I have it there? Yes, there we go. So if you ever wanted to, you could go and check out the previous chapters there. And I really like Canto 2. Some people consider it a little bit weaker than the others because it was when the game just came out. But it is absolutely perfect for showing how dysfunctional the team is at the start. And if you've played a lot of the way of tabletop RPGs, it is very much a tabletop RPG group doing a heist and failing completely. Also, Wild Burke, thank you very much for the raid. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for the raid. Hopefully your stream of Robocop went well. To those who don't know me, I am Araxis Dinesha, your revolutionary bartender. And incidentally, I watched Robocop for the first time yesterday. I really enjoyed it. That was a good movie. I definitely recommend that to people. I kind of want to play the game as well because of it. I've heard that Rogue City is a really solid game. Yeah, hopefully that went really well for you. And yeah, chapter 1 was quite heavy. I had to introduce a whole bunch of things. Canto 2 got to show off all the individual characters a bit better, and it was really great for that. So yeah, if you've got time, go check out my playthrough of the earlier chapters. This would be back when the game first came out. So I recall there being a few sort of bugs and such in the early game because of it. But I think the game was still pretty solid, so yeah. That is why he has left Jilu and I here to look after the new family hierarch's position, which must still be on rather thin ice. Oh, that's what they were privately talking about when he pulled them aside. Having Jilu with us is great. Hopefully Jilu's been healed, considering how badly hurt she was. I mean, we've got the technology, after all, but yeah. Doing nothing and allowing her wicked machinations to progress would have irrevocably made the entire board of directors naught but putty in Yuan Chun's hands. And that would have led to that snake to de facto assume the seat of the family hierarch. Excuse me for a moment. Sorry, just had to blow my nose. Alright. against such an insidious foe who wields intrigue as her weapon, the most viable strategy is the most direct one: to challenge her head on. Besides, has this not given you the excuse you needed to prolong your company stay in Doaguanyan? This is also a prime opportunity for Xichun to further solidify her influence here, depending on the outcome of the vote of no confidence. They have played right into our hands by accepting this deal. So, I don't want to rain on everyone's parade, but are we not even going to consider what might happen if we fail? No, we are not. Because you will not fail. Not with us aiding your efforts. Also, were you serious back there when you said that we were all going to teach Xichun? All 12 of us? I won't object to selecting only a few of us with better aptitude to be educators. By the way, we already have an established internal hierarchy based on the sum of each of our abilities. Of course, the results weren't entirely to my satisfaction due to an unexpected incident. Miss Otis, that is a statement mired in narrow vision rife with factual refractions. I am of the stance that the qualities of a good teacher are defined not by such statistics. Says Mr. Oh, I came last in the power rankings, Yi-sung. Yeah, she can't beat the vampire princess, but she came second. So that's pretty impressive, right? So you must be the one who placed last in that scale. Jigon immediately picking up on what was going on there. Just don't say anything, bud. It's not to stand out like a sore thumb. Yeah, Jigong, absolutely great strategist. Suika didn't protect. It's funny that I say Suikoden, considering, like, the Pinky is the 108 Stars of Destiny. Jigong would be the tactician on the Suikoden team that you recruit to lead your armies and such. So, yeah. Anyway, we've got our first ad break, so we're going to take a brief pause here, and we will resume in a few minutes, okay? Yeah, Gregor, ultimate potential man. Okay, see you shortly. All right. Welcome back, people. Let's resume with Limbus Company, shall we? Also, I've been keeping an eye on my model throughout this, and I'm glad to see that it doesn't seem to be having any issues in the last hour, so I'm fairly sure that the reason was no sleep for Kaname Date. No idea why, but at least we'll be finishing that next week, considering we're in the epilogue for it now. Let's get back. Yeah, I've already read that. I may have overreacted then. My lord has said that from the virtuous we may learn to replicate their merits. From the flawed we may learn to avoid their failings. As long as the student is willing to learn, anyone, anything can be a teacher. I also embrace this teaching, seek from all those who we come across. Just what in the heavens are you doing? I am preparing a lesson plan for young Xichun, our family hierarch. Wow, you sure got on that fast. So, what are these yellow wormy things here? Aha! 'Tis a star! Twinkle twinkling in its radiance. She will go to the Twinkle series and overcome the URA finale in just a month, unlike all those other Umas who need a whole 3 years. I'm going to teach you Fixer history, but 58,457 pages of lore about them. Nice. According to this schedule you have prepared, the student would have -3 hours available for sleep. This lesson plan's execution will require cooperation from T-Corp. Would be a mistake most fatal indeed. I shall correct it post-haste. I mean, we just need a hyperbolic time chamber. Xichun regretting her decisions. Xichun was staring at Don Quixote's expression of her wild artistic merit upon the curriculum with her usual crescent moon eyes. Wait, is that supposed to be Xichun's grimace? Of course. Each to their own, I suppose. I need not be shaken by every little thing until we have their actual lesson plans in hand. Xichun, you are overestimating us. Hey, thanks for putting your faith in us, Xichun. We barely have any of that to go around ourselves, so I understand it couldn't have been easy. You could say that I have learned my lesson. The recent events have taught me that the path of learning is truly one without end. Yes, absolutely. The path of learning is truly one without end. We never stop learning. We are always able to learn. Don't shut yourself off from new knowledge. Don't assume that you know everything. You can learn from everything around you. Try and learn something new every day. Go on a Wikipedia crawl. Just read some random articles there. Follow the sources. Watch some history documentaries or something. Watch some science docos. I don't know. Do something, all right? Read a book. Go on TV tropes. As long as you learn something, all right? Ooh, another student. I see that you have all individually worked on your lesson plans. Oh, sorry, this is Ji-Lu. I see that you have all individually worked on your lesson plans as per Zhigong's request. Oh, hey, Ji-Lu. You're, looking a whole lot less scary now. That you're, out of your, Heisho combat clothes. I have received a total of 12 lesson plans. Hold on. Shouldn't there be 13 of them? Even the executive manager has decided to spare their precious time to teach a class. And yet not in bunny girl outfit, sure. It's okay, she's got a bunny over there. She's got a bunny over there. Huh? Yeah. I handed in my lesson plan too. That is because... who didn't do their homework? After a brief silence, everyone turned around and looked at one of the sinners. Is everyone looking at Heathcliff? Poor Heathcliff. Oh, it ain't me. Oh, please. At least try to make a compelling argument. Who else other than you could it possibly... It's me. You think? You've been acting out of character a lot recently. What's going on? Well, that's... Sinclair was drenched in sweat for some reason. Actually, in Sinclair's seat was a large stack of papers, each filled to the brim with writing. See, no, I had faith that that our boy Heathcliff would be able to plan out a lesson plan. He showed off in the Limbus company check-in that he isn't as dumb as he looks. Like, he is absolutely able to contribute in a more formal, like, academic setting. He's a little bit different, absolutely, but he's not dumb. He can do something. Like, when Hohenheim had, like, faith in him, like he really liked the fact that someone was trusting him with a position of responsibility, and he put his all into it. Don't dismiss my boy Heathcliff. Claire, are these papers done? Not as looks as being a Brit. You watch your mouth there, Mayor. Sorry. Too into making a lesson plan and just couldn't stop myself from writing. No. Sinclair couldn't have appeared more proud as he placed that big bundle of sweat-soaked papers into Ji-Lu's hands. And she receives it with mild trepidation. You seem to have dedicated quite the momentous effort in drawing up this lesson plan. What's up with her? Let's start reviewing from the first of the stack. 108 analytical approaches to an aesthetics AAA. Yi-sung. What does AAA mean? And how do you plan to explore all 108 approaches in a month? Oh, sorry, Sinclair wrote that one. I didn't know you were a fan of alliteration, Sinclair. Appreciation of artistry and assassinations. Oh no, that's oh, of course. Yeah. Yoshi got to him. You went too far. Right. Sorry. Flip a page and continue reading for those 108 approaches. I'm going to assume that Sinclair will end up one day being sent to a diplomatic post on a space station. The station, Babylon 5. What paint did you use? It's quite viscous and the paper has partially melted. Oh, lady, watch yourself. You've got some on my arm. Ah, painting. Jilu? Trails. Coating the world. Oh no, she's got a funny face! Now you know how aesthetes appreciate the artistry of slaughter. Just what the hell did you paint in that paper? Hey! Get it together! Jilu stumbled briefly. Whatever was on the paper must have given her quite the shock. My mind wandered for a moment. This is too dangerous to be used for a lesson. Thus, it goes to the discard pile. Weak sauce. Jilu crumpled up the paper without hesitation and tossed it out of sight. Next. Intro to Societal Reintegration. Impressive title. Chapter 1. How to shake hands with your left hand when the situation calls for it. Chapter 2. Exploration of exclusively long-sleeved fashion and practices. Chapter 3. Rejecting confidence and why having a bug arm is totally cool. That's, you know how it is. Be proud of who you are. All that philosophy stuff. I wanted this lesson to give a bit of a paradigm shift where we can all come to see our flaws as not as failings, but as evidence of our individuality, which will usher in a world where we can carry on with our lives, no matter what kind of arm we have. Discard. Next. Jilu quickly flipped through the pages. Intro to Denigrative Linguistics. Subheading: The Power of Words. Sticks and stones may break their bones, so let's add words to the pile. My credentials include the ability to dress down an opponent so hard that they fall to their knees and beg me to stop. I have plans for application as well. The lesson teaches methods pertaining to disguising compliments in criticism, vice versa. We noticed! We noticed, Otis! All of this seems rather difficult to learn. I have concluded from my hitherto observations that Xichun is an individual of great promise in this field. She's a tsundere. Follow my instructions to a T, and I guarantee you that this cadet shall be able to have the upper hand in any verbal confrontations. Is this a curriculum to make the best brawler, or the best family hierarch out of me? Otis is quite pretty, yes. in a more handsome way, I would say. But absolutely. Also, she's not wrong in providing this information to a family hierarch, I imagine. Like, this lesson would be useful for someone who is going to be a politician. Jilu seemed quite interested, but Jia Xichun's vehement veto eventually overruled the suggestion. Ah, I thought it was a good one. On Justice. Another impressive title. Oh, is this going to be Ryoshu's one? Considering she's sorry, not Ryoshu, Rodion. Because Rodion is representing crime and punishment. Subheading: Methodologies of captivating an entire room of preoccupied audience. Card. 3 on the 4! Ah, no, so it was on. Yeah, on Justice. Yep, okay. How to get the attention of everyone and talk about fixes. Yep, okay, there we go. Yep, that one makes sense. Fair enough. Next. Praxis of ego splitting concerning inter-mirror conflict between the self and the reflection, and paradoxically fractured theory of idealism in which one attempts to open an unopening door to open the door. Alright, this one's Yi-san. Utterly incomprehensible. Discard. Perhaps Miss Ryoshu's advice to truncate the lesson title should have been taken into earnest. Survival and exploration. 21 reasons to pay attention when the exploration team leader is giving advice on the upcoming adventure. Case study for 30 horrible mistakes that occurred because the team was distracted during the leader's lecture. Ishmael! Ishmael just taking her chance to write a paper on fucking listen. Fucking read the pamphlets, people! I'm hanging on a limb here, people! How to track down a troublemaker who tries to sweep trouble under the rug while the team leader isn't looking. Someone ignored my advice that we should have been moving 2 steps ahead. Finally, I've narrowed them down to 3 culprits. Wait! I forgot to take that part out. Yep, very much. Taking out everything on everyone else and didn't edit out her stream of consciousness. And into the shredder it went. When did the paper shredder get here? She's just getting fed up now. Oh, it's the dinosaur! It's Godzilla! The art of using yawning as a cover for popping a cookie or 2 into your mouth. Especially useful when getting lectured. Alright, so this one's Rodion. Hey, if you get good enough at it, you can do that with nuts too. Ah, it was you who made those crunching noises in our last meeting. Nah, do you take me for an amateur? The art of social maneuvers. How to let it flow through you. How to not make things awkward when you walk right in on someone bad-mouthing you. Now, the most important part of this art is to flash a refreshing smile in a way that looks earnest. It helps when you convince yourself that smiling is what brings good fortune. Smiles have a way of disarming people, giving them pause and making them hesitate. I remember that. Big Bro used that technique to confuse a lot of Dagwan Yan people who hated him. I see. This... well... this... I can't quite bring myself to throw this into the shredder. Next, how to remain in complete stillness for a week until the next command is received. Oh, Miso. This lesson plan was designed based on Rodion's advice that I must prioritize strengths that are unique to myself. Look, in my defense, I didn't know he considered that to be his unique strength, okay? Let us consider whether standing in complete stillness for a week is a quality one might seek in the family hierarch. This one is certainly interesting. What separates bravado from bravery? Well, this one sounds like it might be Heathcliff's. Jack shite. Sod off and grab your weapons. Yeah. Always gotta read the full print. It's my philosophy that reason don't necessarily need to be considered before coming to blows. Martial prowess is indeed an indispensable part of the family hierarch's qualities. But our focus is not on developing a hierarch of a syndicate. Next. Information disparity as a driver of inequitable treatment. Oh? That's actually the most interesting sounding one so far. And the application of engineering frameworks. Faust. Okay. It's kind of losing me, but I'm still on board. For systemic resolution in rational self-interest driven societies, and guess this is just about arguing with yourself, Faust. No, this isn't even about a paper about being the smartest in the room. This is a paper about being in a room full of yourself and arguing with yourself in order to be the best self that you can be. Or the story to develop in such a way that all the discarded lessons will come to pass during the challenge. I hope so as well. Is it still going? That was 1/5 of the full title. It seems that the same trouble has hindered both you and I. Every word in that title was added for its absolute necessity. Indeed. Indeed. After she had gone through the majority of our lesson plans... Finally. Now that that's over... Yes, it's finally my turn. What about Dante's lesson plan? Phew. Sinclair sighed with the gravitas of someone who's just been bestowed with the most important mission in his life. Thinking back, even back in school, I used to daydream about becoming a teacher myself. I thought I could be good at it. So I guess you could say that I'm pretty happy to be given an opportunity like this. I call my lesson the theory on self-overcoming. We have to accept that everyone stumbles at first. I always striving to be a better person than I was yesterday. Hey, but what if I like who I was yesterday more? That's okay. Everyone has their own unique potential sleeping deep inside. So, with everything I've learned and experienced so far, let me teach you. Let me teach you how to not doubt your own capabilities, how to always shoot higher. Hold on. You had me for a second there, but what's up with you acting like you're an infinitely more enlightened person than I am? Treatise on the importance of time management. I mean, that's a good treatise, right? Ah, of course. I've prepared a speaking class where you can learn how to speak with modesty, too. How to learn to stop worrying and trust win rate. I never would have imagined Claire would be this into it. Yeah. Too bad he's so into it that he's not even listening to what Xichun's saying. Following that, your company's... it seems Ji-Lu has completed her review. Oh, I see. Now, how's everything going, everyone? Class prep going well? Mine curriculum most especial. Okay, so that's a no? Val has no expectations and she is still disappointed. That was Saud's impression upon taking a quick glance at Don Quixote, who was sobbing and cradling the shredded pieces of her lesson plan in her hands. Well, it wasn't a complete bust, at least. And Claire's lesson plan survived. Oh. Miss Zhigong, Miss Saud, I've prepared a full 30 days worth of lesson plans. Would you like to take a look? But Zhigong and Saud weren't looking at the dozens of lesson plans Sinclair presented so proudly before their eyes. They were looking away. Zhigong especially was looking away with an unmistakable expression of pity. So, he doesn't know. Would you mind explaining this, Ji-Lu? Could not bring myself to tell him. Apologies. So, this young man produced this entire sizable stack of lesson plans all on his own. I see. Weakness has found its way into your heart in the face of such earnest effort. I understand. However, it has been decided that Claire will not be participating as one of Jia Xichun's teachers. Or should I call you Pupil Sinclair, to be exact? This has got to be a mistake, right? Isn't Xichun the pupil here? No, there haven't been any mistakes. My lord has specifically instructed that you are to learn from this as well. What? What? Seriously? This it isn't right. Guys, this isn't right. Now this looks like a proper classroom. It would have felt pretty dang empty with just Xichun sitting there all on her own, don't you think? Besides, I bet Sig's the resident expert on going to schools, right? School was a luxury for me, you know? School is in session indeed! Yeah, maybe, but that doesn't mean I ever wanted to go back to school. You should learn to be grateful. I don't dole out my teachings to just anyone. Don't forget, we have to redo the whole lesson plan under their supervision. Otis, you always get on your soapbox and try to lecture everyone about something after every single battle anyway. Xichun is, I suppose it's Kongcha now, isn't it? Oh, I think he retook his name. Whatever. It's either interested in Sinclair's Mark of Cain or is a shipper on deck and wants Xichun to go with the kid of the team. Now we'll see. And you, Ishmael, you always get hyperfixated on something. Once you find something interesting, you never stop talking about it for 3 hours at least. And I will ensure that you receive the best education I can provide, Sinclair. Hold on, Isan. I thought we were the underdog duo. Remember during the checkup when I said we got this? We were going to get this together. The evaluation painted a twisted picture of the true scale of strength, the sole measure of which erroneously relied entirely on physical might. I shall not hesitate to impart knowledge for those who require education. Congratulations, my lady. You have found yourself a deskmate, which some also call a bestie, depending on desk placement. Oh, way! Huh? Deskmate? Bestie? What the heck does any of that mean? Xichun's eyes widened with confusion, as though she just heard those words for the first time in her life. When I first met her when she was 16, she explained to me that she hadn't attended any school-like institutions. This is part of the course for children of Hongyuan, who are raised with the purpose of becoming the next family Hierarch. The reason being that schools can be a perfect place to assassinate someone. So, desk mates and besties. Sinclair began to explain, seemingly resigned to the fact that he was essentially going back to school for a month with the other sinners as his teachers. Usually sit next to each other and help one another out. A bestie might nudge the other awake when they doze off, share their homework with one another if one forgot to do theirs. They usually end up being included in the best memories of each other's school time. So, not very important at all, huh? Think I got this on my own? I need a bestie. It may have come a few years late, but I am moved that my lady finally has a chance at experiencing school. Same here. I remember it like yesterday. Xichun would sit and watch other kids walk to school from a distance, tears welling in her eyes. Wei is absolutely in dad mode. I like Wei, he's great. Dude! Oh, reminds me. One day, out of nowhere, she started saying something about eating from lunchboxes with friends. I haven't a clue as to how or where she even heard about it, but she snuck into the kitchen and... wait! Don't you guys have lesson plans to write? Come on, hurry up! 30 days are ticking down. We've only got 30 days! Honglu also sort of in dad mode, even though, like, he's like more older brother, but yeah. Of course. Unfortunately, I have become quite occupied with another task of great importance. Assisting Wei with indexing and reviewing various documents that are in critical need of organizing. Oh, Zhigong! Zhigong wants more stories about Xichun. Annoying older brother mode. Yeah. Doting, annoying older brother mode. Thus, I must leave the lesson planning task to you two, Jilu and Miss Soud. Have you any thoughts on this matter? 30 years of paperwork. Yeah, that's rough. Blackout. Jilu got some sass to her. What was that? I said nothing. ba. Oh, hello. You're a new symbol. 30 days of classes. Okay, you don't have an energy component. I'm gonna just quickly create a module just in case. I don't necessarily think it's awakening. I figure she probably already had that there. It's just that we're seeing her in outside of combat for once. Jilu and Saud appeared to have aged several years overnight, their faces sunken and sallow. Finally, after referencing the idiosyncrasies and various statistical data available to us regarding each sinner, we managed to come up with an appropriate curriculum. She's even got bags under her eyes. Miss Jilu? Apologies. Sleep deprivation has relieved me of a clear mind. The path of an educator is truly a grueling one. That's why we need to pay teachers more. That's why teachers need more respect. The path of an educator is a grueling one. It is an important one, and it should be rewarded as such. Marching to battle would be much easier. Still, thanks to Mr. Hierarch's methodology you shared, you did manage to find a way to make this quite efficient. Efficient, huh? To be a true family hierarch, there are dozens, hundreds of virtues one must understand and master. However, to do so in 30 days as promised is an implausible effort. Thus, we have categorized the countless virtues into 3 supercategories, and they are called... so we've got speed, stamina, and power over there. I just have to focus on those 3 stats, and you're good. What are these supposed to be? Ji, Yong, and Ren. Ji, wisdom. The wise lose neither people nor words. To hold one's silence in need of speech shall cost them people. To speak in need of silence shall cost them words. Literally doing Princess Maker. Yeah. I mean, the initial title of this was a Hierarch Maker before they changed the Spring Cultivation. That's why I've still got that. That's why I've got that in the title. A reasonable sequence of logic. Yong, courage, the ability to overcome fear, to act decisively. Have too much of it and risk becoming a brute. Have too little and risk becoming a craven. It needs harmony and balance. So, how far are we allowed to go with corporal punishment again? I recall no instance of any discussion regarding corporal punishment. And Ren, humanity, is the benevolence of the heart, the compass of behavior that dictates respect toward every human. Clearly, most of the faculties of this school are severely lacking in all 3 of your criteria. Just how do you think they'll be able to teach the students anything? Yeah, like a certain someone who needs a lesson in Ren. Are you sure I'm in good hands? Just, what the heck am I supposed to learn here? Where's Wei? Mr. Wei and Miss Zhigong are currently preoccupied with handling the monumental task of paperwork. Right. Mr. Wei wanted me to deliver this message to you. Be strong, my lady. Ting! Wei! Despite her protestations, the 30 days of classes commenced. Oh boy. Alright. So we've got you over there. Let's go look at the instructions, shall we? The goal in this game mode is to raise the main stats Ji, Yong, and Ren as high as possible over the course of 30 class days. Each class specializes in raising different stats, and some classes might even raise or lower the students' morale values over there, I guess, which is like elegy, I'm guessing. Aside from days with fixed classes, you can choose up to 3 classes per day. The variety of selectable classes grows as the days go by. We're actually getting a mini-game! Classes can end in success or failure. A successful class will greatly increase the amount of stat gained, but a failed class will greatly reduce the amount of stat gained. Higher morale results in higher chance to have a successful class. Class combos are class combinations that give certain bonus effects. You can see a combo over there, I guess. When those classes are taken in the same day. Fixer Association Encyclopedia for Dummies. Once you discover a combo, you can preview its activation in the schedule menu. Alright, so we gotta discover these on our own, huh? View all discovered combos and undiscovered combos in the combo list page. So we can see Yisung and Faust have one together, which will boost Ren and Ji by 4. Once you've selected all of your classes, select Begin Class button to begin class. Classes progress automatically. During class, you can view the students changing stat values in real time. Excellent. I've got Sinclair's stats over there as well, huh? Alright. Taking a class gives EXP. Once class EXP has been maxed out, the class will be upgraded to the next level. Taking higher level classes will yield more stat increases. Please note that classes cannot be upgraded beyond Master. Alright. Also becomes a more strenuous class, it looks like. But quickly. Okay. Raising Ji, Yong, or Ren stats beyond a specific level, or upgrading a class to a certain level, will enhance the student's combat prowess. These enhancements are applied separately for Jia Xichun and Sinclair. He's going into battle, huh? Viewing combat prowess. Select the magnifier icon here to view Jia Xichun's detailed stats. Alright. How about the bird? Jia Xichun's solo battles. On certain dates, combat encounters may occur in place of classes. Jia Xichun will be participating in these encounters on her own. Skill slots are changed automatically. Press the gong-shaped button to begin the combat phase. Only by winning the combat encounter can she progress to the next day or the next class. Alright. Well then. Alright, so this will swap out our students here, I see. And these are her current stats. Vulnerable to slashing, Crimson Strike, Crimson Phoenix, and Crimson Spring. 3+4. Target has 5 types of negative effects. Alright. We want it to be inflicting negative effects on people, huh? To boost coin power. You get to do some of it, but I'm not sure if it lasts until next turn or anything. Crit kill fail. Increases poise. That's one attack weight for every 4 types of negative effects. Alright. On kill, gain poise equal to rupture on target. Inflict 1 more rupture or rupture count. Alright. This unit's offense level is higher than the target's flash power +1. Flash lose gain defense. Okay. Well, that's nice that she's adding some... We should have a end rupture count rather than or. I suppose it's like on the abilities itself though, right? Okay. Yeah, so we've got mandatory classes, just Yi-Sang at the moment. The metaphysical approach to ego and the reflected world. So this increases Xi and Yong by 2, Ren by 9, morale goes down by 6, EXP by 30 for the class itself, I guess. Alright, let's go. Got a number of combos listed here, it seems. But we haven't got them yet. Here we go. My name is Yi-Sang. That is all. The class I have prepared for the day... I have heard plenty about your mirror tech. Which makes me wonder, going by the level of advancement in that technology, couldn't you have approached it from a different angle? You know how technological advancement usually goes. People invent for the sake of creation, only to have their inventions inevitably warped into weapons of mass destruction. Indeed. You show much promise already. As you surmise now, the mirror has, in the past, almost always been employed. Has in the past almost been employed to shatter possibilities instead of reflecting them. I'm sure that's the angle most others wanted to see happen. Removal of potential risks sounds much more palatable than potential itself to some people, after all. Correct again. Yet, destruction was a word that bore too much suffering for my heart. My sole egress from it was abandonment of my quondam fellows and my life's work, making myself a fugitive from the past. How did you bring yourself to just abandon it all? I conversed. With who? With myself. That lies within me. Fly, broken wings. As you are aware, the mirror's reflection extends beyond the veils of our own reality. It reflects the potentialities, the latent strength, and the world. Yet, even among them, the reflection of the greatest importance is that of the self. Let not the innumerable worlds of the mirror enchant your gaze. First, one must direct their studies inward and reflect upon oneself. I learned how to be more true to myself by looking into the mirror. Yep, everyone's grown a bit. There we go. Now, if you are prepared, do explain what you see in the mirror. You needn't haste. For some reason, Xichun appeared to hesitate before the mirror. Hey, you know, it's been a while since I have looked into a mirror for so long. My lady, do you recall Sun Zhen of the Shi family who contacted you for a meeting? Yeah. The guy who said he was going to show me a precious flower that blooms only at night? I remember that you were vehemently against me going out there, so I stayed inside. Wonder what kind of flower it was. Don't tell me you were actually looking forward to meeting him, my lady. Oh, of course not. You were wise to stay inside. It was revealed that you weren't the only person who was invited, my lady. That vile man had hired a group of assassins to ambush the meeting spot, and would have been waiting there to spring the trap had you gone. But apparently, he was outplayed, and had his limbs and head torn off as punishment. What a relief, isn't it? Yes. I'm glad I didn't go away. You were right. If only you still had the Wu branch under your control. Stop it. We agreed to move on from that, remember? We don't have to talk about it. I was brushing my hair and looking in the mirror as we were talking, but realized that I no longer recognized the girl in the mirror. I don't know why, but I just found it so hard to meet her eyes. But I brushed it off because I had to. An experience like that was going to be a common occurrence anyway, and the family Hierarch war was always looming on the horizon. Perhaps what you felt then may have been shame, but it is paramount to face oneself nonetheless. Nay, especially so if it was. And Sinclair, what do you see? I see... Well, I just see myself smiling. I don't see what's so out of the ordinary. But it seemed like Sinclair couldn't really bring himself to face the mirror. Hey, after what we just discussed, I think I understand something now. Now that I've had some quiet time looking at my reflection, I think I uncovered a part of myself that I've had hidden away for a long time. Yay! Very precious time learning to converse with my inner self. There we go. That's increasing a fair bit from that, more than was implied from the actual class. Yeah, learned how to be more true to myself, looking into it. Guess that might have been like a great success or something like that. Yep, class metaphysical approach to ego in the reflected world leveled up to expert. Beautiful. There we go. And slash resist has been improved. That's good. Alright. Okay, let's throw that in there. Looks like we have Don Quixote's class now. Oh, hello. This is nice. Don Quixote's class improves morale. So that's our wit training, I guess. Be passionate and dream on. Fixer tales. Okay, so we'll throw this in. Doesn't sort of like educate as much, admittedly, but like having something to give us morale is definitely going to be useful for us. So slash resistance is improved now. And let's go. 'Tis true that a station of teaching is prone to imbue one with a sense of bashfulness. Doesn't educate as much, admittedly, as it should be. It's okay. It leaves one feeling confident about yourself and refreshed. So that's important as part of class, right? Guess we're probably going to get a view of everyone's classes, which is quite nice. I like that. Sinclair and Xichun both sat with a bit of apprehension as well, which is understandable given what Sao told them sometime before the lesson started. Some time ago. Otis, who'd been glaring daggers at Don Quixote for a good while, finally decided to voice her doubts to Sao. So, what is Don Quixote, that woman, supposed to teach? Have you not considered that her usual flippancy might only cause more trouble than it's worth? You worry too much, Otis. While she may not look it, Don Quixote is extremely well versed in those adventure tales. And why would any of that matter? Have you yourself considered that fixes often appear when history is in the making? The importance of feet hygiene when perpetually wearing boots. Yeah, you don't want to get trench foot. Or athlete's foot. Let us see here. Don Quixote took a second to savor the moment, as though she had been preparing her whole life for it, then continued. Amongst the greatest fixers whose honoured names were engraved in history, verily, let us commence this lesson with the tale of the fixer Yue Fei. After this brief intermission, while I go and draw a picture of Yue Fei and show off this autographed picture that I have of her. Alright, be right back. we're back. Gonna be our final hour, and let's continue with our classes, shall we? This tale beginneth in the year sometime later. Are you done? Just how can she continue to talk at such length? She's been going for ages. Oh, excuse me. Thus cometh the time to test thy dedication to this class, and the knowledge that should naturally come with it. A pop quiz, if thou wilt. When did she even find the time to prepare this? Are those giant buzzers for you two? I can assure thee, 'tis a quiz of entirely reasonable difficulty if thou hast paid attention in class. Worry thee not. Does this pop quiz have prizes? Get ready for the game changer! That's me, Don Quixote. I've been here the whole time. You all know the way this game works. Ha! Of course! I came prepared for such inquiries. For each correct answer, I shall bestow upon thee, from the very treasure chest of mine, these precious fixer badges. Forsooth, I did not let a single day go by in which I did not polish each and every one of them on 3 separate occasions at the very least. I don't know. I don't really need them. Hold thine applause, for there is a bonus reward for the victor, who, by the end of this match, carries more badges. Thou shalt attain the role of a protagonist in this theatrical play of my making, Victor Chronicles URA. 'Tis an opportunity of a lifetime! I'm still not really... It's not doing anything for either of us. Yeah, it's still a pretty useless reward, but if you're turning this into a competition, I won't lose. Seriously? Yeah, no problem, Kuro. Hope you sleep well. What? Scared you'll lose? Is history your weakness or something? I'll have you know that I was the teacher's pet in every single history class I took. And I'll have you know that I was, no matter the subject, showered with praise from every master I ever had. Okay, if that's how you want to play it, I'll have you know that I was the prodigy in other classes too. I did great in art classes, and pretty good in math too. I was just being humble, because I didn't want to steal your thunder, Xichun. Oh? Then let me tell you that I was trained in the mastery of at least 10 different disciplines every single day. And on one of those days, you know what one of my masters told me? He said, looks like Miss Xichun's finally getting a feel for how friendships close in age are forged in school. Let him be proud of that. Like, let him be proud of his accomplishments in school. That's good. No matter how excellent her masters were, there are some experiences you just can't learn from teachers. And I present to you Daiwa Scarlet and vodka. I mean, Xichun's clearly Daiwa Scarlet, but Sinclair's not really vodka. Like, he doesn't have an obsession with being cool or anything like that. Like, honestly, he's more of a Meisho Doto. I suppose then Xichun could be TM Opera then, right? I TikToked in response. 'Tis year 505. What in the historical community's consensus on the most illustrious battle that Fixer Yue Fei is said to have partaken in? Allow me to impart to thee a major clue, if thou hadst paid attention, as I discoursed upon the 5 pillages in which the Fixer Yue Fei was mentioned. This should not be a difficult question to answer. The Honorable Fixer of the Cerulean Heaven, who attained triumph in the Battle of Rhino Tree in the year 465, hath said what was the worst ordeal she had to face in her career? Beep! I got it! It's when she had to forge onward, despite watching her dear comrades fall one by one as they held the line to buy her time. Damn it. It was too slow. Young Xichun, thou art incorrect. Honorable Fixer of the Cerulean Heaven is recorded to have testified that the worst ordeal in her career was when she was forced to stand before her enemies with hair that was not luscious, as the supply line breakage caused her regular delivery of nutritional supplements to cease. What thou hast suggested, young Xichun, was her 17th most difficult ordeal. Was she formerly of the middle or something? Did she found the middle? She's speaking like she was actually there. Thine impression is quite understandable, for I am trained in the ways of vividly regaling these tales. Most of these are tales I have learned from books. Much did I anticipate an opportunity to regale these tales to such an audience. Enough to study the ways of minstrels. There was a clear look of pride in her twinkling eyes. Potentially, yes, Sion. Time certainly flies when hearing the tales of exciting adventures. Alright. Got a whole bunch of that, and our morale has improved. What was the secret technique Honorable Fixer Lysander employed in his resolution? Lysander employed in his resolution of the case of the Fey Forest. Speak its name in full. I've got it. It's a Summer Night Fantasia. Incorrect. Yet I cannot let pass such an unmotivated retelling of his super ultimate move. Hardly could one internalize the true noble spirit of Fixers by simply reciting it with such apathy. Thou must recreate the exact pose and the enunciation. Are you kidding me? Come on. Do this, Xichun. Do this. This is nothing. Illusions of a midsummer night shall devour thee whole. Dawn letting out a single tear of emotion in response. Summer Night Fantasia! Don Quixote learning everything she knows from books. Yes, absolutely. 100%. I really like the chapter in Don Quixote where the priest and the barber were going over Don Quixote's book collection and deciding which ones to keep and which ones to toss out. I believe there was a self-insert there of one of Cervantes' own books in there, which was amusing. Thine enunciation was quite shaky upon the word illusions, yet thou hast demonstrated sufficient courage. Thus I bestow upon thee this badge. I'm tired of this nonsense. Just how much longer are you planning to drag this on? Thus muttered the hero, then declared, I shall declare this evil storm asunder, and find a place for this blade at the center of thy heart. Dante, lights, left side. Gotcha. Don Quixote was watching Sinclair and Xichun's two-person play, silently wiped her tears away. Bravo! Bravo! Certain minor details were missed, such as that Yue Fei the Fixer was left-handed, and that he had a habit of playing with a lighter in his left pocket before every duel. Yet, 'twas a wonderful reenactment indeed. I no other critique to impart upon thee. Faced with great adversity in thine adventures, rekindle the memory of Yue Fei the Fixer's final duel. Remember it well. Thus cometh to an end the lessons of today. Well, was just for a moment, but I think I'm starting to get it. Get why she's so obsessed with fixes. Clutched tightly in Xichun's hands were the badges Don Quixote had gifted to her. Yep, there we go. As for the stat improvements. And Ethan. Yeah, very precious time learning to converse my inner self. Ooh, great boost there. So they're all quite happy there as well with that result. Xichun gained 60 max HP. Well, that's good. How much HP do you have now? 240. Alright. Alright, so we've got Faust now. So we'll do those. So, understanding of city engineering and its practices. So we didn't get a combo there, but at least according to the guide, there's a combo here. So I'm guessing is these two together, right? So let's go. This is a component part taken from the structure that forms H-Corp. This may prove to be an opportunity to conduct an in-depth analysis on the nature of the former H-Corp singularity, which has been enduring for such a long time. Ah, you look kinda upbeat today, Miss Faust. Indeed, an opportunity to study the old H-Corp singularity is not one that comes often. As there was potential for integration into Mephistopheles, I made a request to disassemble a part of the bus's engine, but was denied. A shame. Aren't you the one who built Mephistopheles, though, Miss Faust? Mephistopheles is indeed Faust's work, but not all of it was mine. It is possible that Faust may never reveal every small detail that went into its creation. Didn't know that Faust was a lecturer in the Goethe book. That's nice to know. I would very much enjoy a chance to completely disassemble it, even its engines, so that it could be reassembled with my own hands. Yeah, sure. Taxidermy geniuses. Oh. That just blew up in her face. Based on the skills I learned. Oh, hey, taxidermy geniuses. Yep, so. And Fixer Association Encyclopedia for Dummies. There we go. G+4, G+4. Alright. Managed to recreate the model of a machine from Faust's blueprint. So, yeah. Gained all of that. So that's how it works. I don't think I get it. I didn't think this is how I'd get to learn more about the old H-Corp. I don't think I can do much against the reconstruction days right now, but this knowledge will certainly come in handy when the day comes for me to gradually dismantle that iniquitous thing. The day when Hongyuan can be a place where people can live without fear. Without the fear of the encroaching reconstruction days. Without obsessively counting their rooms to see if they'll fall or not. Till Hongyuan can be a place where you can sleep with the promise of safe tomorrows. I'm sure you'll pull it off. Oh, and I learned a lot during this lesson too, Miss Faust. Yep, just like the chibi. The voltage must have been set too high. Repeating experiment with a different combination of fuses and wires. There was supposed to be a lesson somewhere in there, right? Yeah, very precious time. Beautiful. Yeah, exhilarating tale of fixes. I even forgot to breathe. Class success rate. Interesting. Leveled up to expert. Beautiful. Faust blowing herself up is a remnant from Don Quixote due to the April Fool's event. Alright. Okay, so, no actual improvement in what is learned. However, morale is certainly up, that's for sure. And slash resist is improved again, that's good. Interesting. I thought we were going to continue in order of the sinners. But no, I guess we're going straight to the end with Gregor, who's going to tell war stories. There was a professor who thought he knew everything and that the world held no mysteries, leading to the bet between Mephisto and God. Okay. Alright, so we can see our stats over here. Okay, so I think I see how this works. So, in Yi Sung's class, Ren will increase by +4. In Faust's class, Ji will increase by +4. Okay. When the thing goes up. Not that I imagine Don Quixote is going to have a failure given that she's improving morale and all, but alright. Let's go. Yeah, for Faust's soul to be precise. Gotcha. Okay. So... I'm gonna throw in Faust and Yi Sung. I could like save this for later because our morale's still gonna be pretty high after all. Okay, so let's go. Unlike some other classes, which were more on the upbeat side of things, the room's air felt grim and solemn, as soon as everyone saw what Gregor had written on the chalkboard. On war. Losing a wing war leaves a much larger, longer-lasting impact than some medium-sized enterprise closing up shop. It might be too soon to talk about this. We came pretty darn close to one recently, didn't we? We were this close to a large-scale war breaking out right here, which absolutely would have happened if Miss Xichun here failed to finish her ascension. Would have spread like wildfire too. My class is going to be about what exactly happens when a war... Oh. A piece of chalk slipped from Gregor's fingers as he went to scribble something on the board. His left hand was trembling, as though the room's temperature had plummeted only for him. Man, why has it got a... Excuse me, Miss Gilu. Is it okay if I smoke? Go ahead. You good, buddy? When else am I going to get a chance to share the realities of war right to a wing chief executive officer's face, huh? The moments that just don't come off your skin, no matter how hard you scrub at them. Hey, take a break if you need it. I'm going to listen to every word you have to say here today, no matter how long it takes. Man, do I appreciate that sentiment. Well, still, though, can't dilly-dally when Miss Xichun's got other stuff to deal with, huh? So, let's take a look at how things were at the very beginning of the Wing War. Yep, now I know enough about urban and trench warfare to give an explanation on my own. There we go. Lovely. And that's why the smoke war fronts were mostly characterized by trench warfare. No one wanted to risk fighting in concrete jungles where they could be surrounded by enemies at all times. So, everyone tried to draw each other out to an open field battle, which naturally turned into trench warfare. Of course, every wing had a different singularity, so this isn't really applicable in all cases. Just that the former G-Corp found flat plains easier to maneuver in. I feel like Daguan Yuan could make a pretty good use of Hong Yuan as a defensive fortress, especially with its internal structure constantly shifting around, which the Heisho know and use very well. Exactly. This should explain why they were hesitating outside Daguan Yuan. Remember the thumb fellas? The ones we met who were going in circles? Not to mention how the Heisho all utilize the topography of Hongyuan differently. Even if an outsider were to get a read on how one of the branches maneuver around Hongyuan, as long as the 12 Heisho branches are standing, Hongyuan is unassailable. Well, despite going into all that, I'm sure we all know what the best answer in all warfare is. Not having a war in the first place. I'll be honest, I can't stop thinking about some of the stories you've been telling us. I can't even imagine what it would have been like to have to only witness it, but through all of that. We did visit your fathoms, Gregor, but wasn't even the tip of the iceberg. The city was devoured in smoke, its citizens in madness. We'd always shrug off those stories as ramblings of the past, but during the war, he stood at the center of the heartless machine that was the city, its every gear calibrated to slaughterhouse precision to maximize the death of its people. Have confidence, Sophie. No confidence. There, he must have witnessed things far worse than the worst that the city presently has to offer. His eyes glazed beyond the veil of the bygone past, shaking restlessly in pursuit of what was no more. Oh boy. Sorry, fellas. I'm afraid I got carried away lamenting what happened, that I forgot this was supposed to be a class. I'll be sure to prep something more useful next time. No. Everything you told me really solidified my resolve. This chaos within Hongyuan needs to come to an end soon. Something so horrible could happen. I'm heading to my next class. Wait for me! Even after the two students had left, Gregor lingered in that room for a while, lighting up cigarette after cigarette without erasing what he wrote on the chalkboard. Smoke soon filled the room. He left only after almost emptying the entire pack. They are buddies now. Oh, master rank for you, son. So 13 and minus 10 now. Defense level. Ooh. Jin Gang Bolus improved, and Inner Self passive. Turn 3, plus 2 offense level up. Ooh. 1 protection and 3 defense up now. I mean, we still don't want to be losing clashes, but if we do lose, gaining a protection is good. That's a 10% less damage after all. Okay. Didn't unlock any new combos there, unfortunately. So we've got Hong Lu now, surviving Hongguan. Okay. So, let's... go Gregor and a Donkey. So, your stats give 616. So similar to how Gregor gives stats, but different focuses. Gotcha. No problemo. Okay, I'll go with that. So that's all the same there. How are classes going, Xichun? I'm not you, big bro. I pay attention in class. Oh, hello, Miss Dayu. She was really insistent on helping me out, even though I refused because she looked preoccupied. The moment I found out about the contents of his lesson plan, I simply could not allow him to do this alone. Looks like it's going to be another serious class. Apologies for the delayed greetings. Dayu of the Lin family formally extends her greetings to the venerable Hierarch. Been a while since I heard that greeting around here. Wait, what about Big Sis Bao Chai? You sure it's okay for Rishui family bodyguard to be here? I am no longer employed as Miss Bao Chai's guard. Oh, wait, don't tell me we got you. Everything I did that day, including accompanying you, was under Miss Bao Chai's orders. As for why she no longer needed my services, I don't understand myself. She suddenly let me go after the trouble was over. So, what's there for you to teach me, big bro? Your last lesson plan about not making things awkward got vetoed by Jilu, so... You could have taught me a thing or two if we were still kids, but come on. You spent most of your time stuck at Yi Hongyuan before leaving Hongyuan. I don't know what you could possibly have to teach me. Don't worry, Xichun. This is the one thing I think I'm pretty good at. My lesson for Xichun and Sinclair is... In clear, neat handwriting, Hong Lu wrote, "Surviving Hong Yuan" on the chalkboard. Oh, well, I don't think I need any help in that department from you. Look, I know you've had your share of assassination attempts, big bro, but Xiamu, I mean, the previous Hierarch and the Elder's favor, she sheltered you from the worst of it. She's not wrong. Back when we had to fight our way through a bunch of sweepers, weren't you also one of the handful who got assassinated? Oh, that? Oh, I was wandering the hallways because I felt like something was off about my room. Until Dante told us all to go back to our rooms, of course. Wait. It was my fault? You do have some intuition, I'll give you that. Looks like I'm going to have to prove myself. Dayu, would you mind preparing the thing? You have my utmost faith, but please, do practice caution. The thing! What's the thing? Sometime later, Lin Dayu appeared with 4 bowls splishing with tea, before sprinkling some powder into one of them. Ah, pure iocane powder. What's that? That's powdered wolfsbane. I see where this is going. You're going to teach me how to tell which of these bowls contains poison, right? Stop now. I learned to recognize infamous poisons like wolfsbane when I was 7. If it was something as tame as what you were suggesting, Venerable Hierarch, I would not have been here to accompany him. Lin Dayu continued her process, sprinkling wolfsbane powder into 2 more bowls. Hong Lu, who was watching with an oddly contented expression, closed his eyes. Please mix them up, Dayu. Oh, okay, wait. What? He stared in confusion, but we could hardly tell what was going on with the speed at which Lin Dayu swapped around the balls. When we looked back at Hong Lu, there were 3 silver spoons in his hand. Those silver spoons were custom made at Da Guanyuan's request. Must-have item for children of the 4 great houses. They can detect non-sulfuric poison as well. Yeah, I know. They're actually... Actually... what? It's nothing. In Hongyuan, where we are beset by threats of assassination from all directions, knowledge alone isn't enough to save you. What the heck are you... But Honglu opens his eyes before Xichun can finish her sentence. Then, he throws the silver spoons in his hands like throwing pins towards 3 of the bowls. And immediately chugs the 4th bowl, which he hadn't thrown a spoon at. Holy crap! Are you insane? You barely even checked them for... Jiren's newer tea is always delicious, even when cooled. The 3 silver spoons Honglu had cast earlier were slowly melting away after quickly becoming tarnished black. Is wolfsbane poison supposed to melt through metal? People like to be thorough with their poisons in Da Guanyuan. Since everyone's been trained for immunity since childhood, you have to make a mixture of various poisons to have a real effect. Fine. I don't even want to argue. What's your secret? I want to know too. Do they sound different or something? I just went with my hunch. Just a hunch? How are we supposed to learn that? We're not Heathcliff, you know. Oh, you'll get the hang of it after a few tries. I'll help you out. Shall we begin with 2 balls? I managed to tell the difference between the balls by reading Hong Lu and Daiyu's subtle tells. There we go. Poison time! I see. When you say you just avoided whatever felt wrong with a hunch, you were reflexively identifying the threat by reading the room and connecting it to your intuitive experiences. Aha! You were using Miss Daiyu's anxious breathing to clue you in. So, this is how you managed to survive for so long. Listen carefully, Xichun. I know that the adepts of each Heisho will come to your aid with a flick of your wrist. And I know that your residence, Noanshuan Wu, will be engineered by the best craftsmen to become a safe fortress stocked to the brim with all kinds of useful boluses to protect your life. Even still, there will come a day when you start to feel this creeping sensation whose origin you can't identify. And when it does, I hope you won't brush off the sensation as nothing. You're worrying over nothing. Jia Xichun whipped around away from Hong Lu as if to express dissatisfaction, but her softened expression told me that she was glad to see him worried. Gained a so-so understanding of the War of the Wings. There we go. So learning about the fixers and their deeds. There we go. Back in tip-top shape. Every 6 days, you will be subject to midterms prepared by the Board of Directors at Jia Yuanchun. A palanquin has been prepared to take you to the exam site, and only by passing the tests may Jia Xichun retain her status as the family hierarch. My lady. Oh, don't worry yourself over much, Master Wei. You sound like you're at a funeral. She will pass these tests with ease, as long as she's been diligent taking her classes. No, I simply hope I can survive until she returns. It seemed that Wei's rather funereal voice wasn't just out of his concern for Xichun. Wei, are you sure you're okay? I escape them, even in dreams. The unfinished bundles of paperwork scathing over me like a storm, burying me. Midterm tests and paperwork. 2 huge horrors. Steel yourself, for that was no dream at all. In fact, never have I once seen paperwork trained in the arts of airwalking until now. Oh, I must be severely sleep-deprived. Oh no. They're gonna pull a Gilgamesh and die of overwork at this rate. Looks like we're not the only ones going through the ringer. Alright, so we do have a class over here to get involved in battle. You know what, sure, let's do this fight and we'll wrap up the stream there, okay? Let's see what the midterms are like. Hey, you're one of the she-boys. We finally meet. I had hoped to fight you in the family hierarch war. If you'd run into me then, Isn't this supposed to be a sparring match? Why does it sound like you have a personal grudge against me? It's nothing. Nothing at all. Why in the world would I ever hold a grudge against you? The results of the family Hierarch war couldn't be any clearer, and everyone even remotely connected to the mess has all been dragged away and put under investigation. Hey, guess what? They dragged away half of my family, which means more room for me. I should really thank you, right? Honestly, why don't you just declare a war against the Shi family at this point? Wouldn't that be much easier? War's not easy. It never is. What are you on about all of a sudden? Oh, we're applying our lessons! It's not something we should be talking so lightly about, even as a joke. Your family was arrested because they are under investigation for treason against Da Guanyuan. If they're innocent, I'm sure they'll be released soon enough. Okay, if there's anything we can learn from other people, from veterans who have come back from war, it's that war is hell, and that we should endeavor to avoid war where possible. Like, I'm not saying that, like, never go to war at all, even if it means, like, giving an unconditional surrender to avoid war. But, like, absolutely treat that as, like, a final choice, okay? Do not take, like, military action lightly. I know it's pretty much a given that they'll all be ruled as guilty, regardless of what really happened. You know I can't even pay them a visit because you've hidden their cells all over Hongyuan? They're not hidden. All holding cells within Hongyuan have always been designed to move around in very short intervals. You know, that does seem like the kind of design that would lead people to make some unfortunate assumptions. I'm sure the initial purpose was to prevent escapes. I recently gained a better understanding of Hongyuan's structure, so I'm planning to change our policies so that prisoners still on trial are allowed to have fixed locations. Really? Where do you... I was lucky enough to take a few excellent classes recently. Managed to reflect upon myself a bit, too. You did change a little. Still, you better not expect me to go easy on you. I've got my own things to take care of. Good. Come on, let's do this. Many illustrious fixers of the past have said that naught but disparagement awaits unjust victories. Alright, so we've got our Crimson Strike going on here. Yeah, we're in good good morale, so we should be able to win this. So it's Xichun fighting. She can't listen to the manager's orders anyway. You're gonna absorb the personalities of all 12 sinners and form like a godlike being capable of just about anything. Well, your abilities anyway. 5% damage for every 6 rupture on target. Main charge. Shabby weapons. Yeah, okay. Kick his ass!
다른 누구도 아닌 나 자신을 들여다봐야 해.
And I think we've got our offense level up from our passive now, right? From turn 3. +2. So one of your skills gave you offense level up? Yeah. 3, 6. do like Xichun's fighting style. I'm definitely a fan of war fans. There we go. Stack it. Good for you. You won. Now, stop giving me that look and get out of here. You lost most of your clan during the family Hierarch war, didn't you? Yeah? So what? You calling me a penniless loser? Yeah. You little. And I'm sure that's what I look like to you, too. I don't want your... Sorry. Every clan member who died in the evaluation to have died for nothing. I show weakness. That means I'm making everyone who participated in the evaluation look weak. So I'm going to win. And I'm going to win without the fertile soil my predecessors have left behind. Because their legacy was unjustly nourished by the blood and tears of Hongyuan itself. Shi Huazhen, you are tenacious, determined, and strong of will. That must be why everyone stood by you. That last man. You knew my name? Man? I do. So, what do you think? Want to make them sing your name in glory for the remaining history of Hongyuan? Win over them. Hell yeah. Alright. So, we're going to wrap things up here, I think. It looked like we were able to pause things for now, so we'll save our class progress, return to the main menu. And tomorrow, we're going to continue raising Xichun so that she will be able to be the best Uma Musume around. Alright? Hopefully, that was something that everyone enjoyed. Oh, hello. What did I get here? Ooh, update compensation. Free lunacy. There we go. Alright. So, hopefully, that was something that everyone enjoyed. As I said, we're going to be doing more of this tomorrow, so look forward to that. No stream on Saturday, though I might consider doing more Limbus on Saturday if it looks like this is taking sort of a while, just so I can sort of get it sort of out of the way. In order to pave the way for going back to AI 100 line as well as my anniversary stream next week. But Sunday will absolutely be dedicated to Super Robot Wars, so don't worry about that one at least. Now, we are going to go and raid somebody now, so let's go and raid. Let's see. I'm going to raid. Let's say Serafina Noir. There we go. Alright. So Serafina is playing some Legend of Heroes, Trails in Cold Steel. Which I should probably get around to playing at some point, but I also want to play Trails in the Sky, and I think there's a remake coming out for that as well, so yeah. Eventually, right? Eventually. Thank you very much as always, and I hope to see you all next time. Okay? See ya!